So, Keyshawn.
Yes.
Does Lamar need to add a Super Bowl to validate his greatness?
He doesn't need to add one to validate his greatness. What he needs to do is add one to get rid of the but. Because the but is an issue, right? At the end of the day, I knocked over my Apple box.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's you don't want to ever be a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time MVP of a league and not have the chip in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Because the conversation is but. Yeah, Lamar was great, but. Yeah, Lamar was in it, but he couldn't ever do anything but. So you get all them buts going, at the end of the day, he can't. Paul went to 2 championships, won, Lakers beat him on the other one. Okay?
Thanks for the reminder.
I went to the Super Bowl, we won. Michael will be with us, he has 3. All of us, we can walk through the door, Joy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They say, man, you, why don't y'all come on in with us? He can't come. He doesn't want that. That's not, he wants to sleep good at night. Think about all the great players, no matter what anybody says. Barry Bonds, great as he was, 0 championships. Okay? And he was good. He was good in Pittsburgh, because obviously you know, growing up in that area, San Francisco, the Angels robbed him. Okay? They took it from him. Then you talk about the Angels and Mike Trout. Mike Trout, some people would argue he's the greatest baseball player ever. That's what people would say based on the statistics and all of those. So, 0. So you don't want to go down like that. No matter what Lamar says, and he said it though, he doesn't have the championship. 7 seasons, 2 MVPs. He's halfway to where Aaron Rodgers is as far as the MVPs. He may get a 3rd this year.
Yeah.
But he's got to get rid of that but. You just don't want that though as an athlete.
All right. Does Lamar need a Super Bowl to validate his greatness? He doesn't need a Super Bowl. I said this. There's a lot of greatness amongst players in all sports.
Yeah.
He'll be Hall of Fame. He's going to go make a lot of appearances back in Baltimore, make a lot of money. If he wins a Super Bowl, he'll be legendary. He needs a Super Bowl to be legendary. He's already great. If he retired today, he's Hall of Fame career. And he's only been in the NFL, what, 6, 7?
7 years.
Going into his 7th year. Greatness, he's already solidified. Legendary status, that's what he's aiming for. So he worded this wrong. It was worded wrong. Does he want to be a legend? Win a Super Bowl. Because he's already great. And I can't think of anybody outside of Patrick Mahomes in their first 7 years, coming into their 7th year, that I could put in the Hall of Fame, and he's one of them.
I tend to agree with you on the greatest thing. He does have 2 league MVPs. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame just based off of that alone, with whatever else he does with his career. And we know he will continue to win regular season games. He'll continue to get statistics. But there is a difference between winning a championship, being an all-time great with a championship, and being an all-time great without one. There is a difference. And he will always be a great.
Yes.
But one of the greatest, I think you have to have a ring, particularly at that position. And I also think that you're measured against your peers. What are your peers doing in that same window? What is your competition accomplishing? Now, there happens to be a dynasty currently going on in the NFL, which is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're trying to put the final period on that with this championship. But Mahomes is winning championships, and he's separated himself from the rest of the competition. But you guys are saying, well, Paul is saying that he's already going to be great, and you're saying that he needs it. What was the difference? Not obviously not to be great, but to not have the but after his name. What is the difference to you? When you won the championship, how did you feel about your career? How did you feel about your accomplishments? Did you walk a little different? Like, obviously we know how important it is to win a championship.
You've been working with me for a few weeks. Don't I walk different?
Understand.
But he was on the downslide of his career when he won.
Be quiet, man. Stop that mess, man.
He was just hanging out in the locker room.
You better look up the numbers anyway, Joy.
No, I do. I want you to explain. I want both of you to explain it. Like, obviously it validates your work, but what does it do to validate how you speak about yourself, how peers speak to you?
Everything.
Explain it.
I went to a team that had one of the greatest defenses in NFL history. Some would argue the greatest defense in NFL history. Our offense was harsh, you know what. They traded 2 number 1s to come get me to help that offense engineered things to get to the Super Bowl. 2 years later, we win the Super Bowl. They 2 years after I arrived, we go and we win the Super Bowl. I was a very important piece to that, especially on the offensive side of the ball. To me, that's saying something. I wasn't at the end of the bench. I didn't catch 30 balls that year and got a ring. No, I was a significant part of that.
Right.
That meant something. Like I can now push my chest up and feel a certain way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that feels good because you can't tell me anything. You can say whatever you want to say at the end of the day, but you can't tell. It's like graduating from college.
Yeah.
You can't take my degree from me. I got one from the University of Southern California, but I also got a Super Bowl ring. You can't say anything to me, Joy and Paul, about that. You just, it's like nothing. I get in the club. Let's put it that way. I'm in the club.
I ain't gonna lie, Joy. Look, when I gotta stand up for this, right? Adjust them cameras. Hey, no, look, when I won that ring, my walk was different. My walk was like, yeah. It was a different walk. I was probably walking before I won a championship. My shoulders was a little slumped.
Because people could still say certain
now
things.
I'm over here like, yeah, they not like us. They not like us.
If you don't sit down.
But is it because people can say certain things to you before you have a championship that they can't say after?
Absolutely. See, so funny. It's funny that you say that, right? Because as a receiver, you go and you get drafted as #1 overall pick. So you're supposed to be the savior of an organization. And I tried to do what I could do for New York. I mean, we wind up going to AFC Championship game 3 years into my career, and from a 1-15 to an AFC Championship game. But I remember in Sterling Sharp, Shannon Sharp's brother, is a really good friend of mine. He used to play in my golf tournaments all the time. And we went and we won the Super Bowl in San Diego. I'm coming out the tunnel. And they're set up at the end of the tunnel doing the post game. And I went purposely to Sterling. And Sterling knows this and Shannon remembers too. I said, because Shannon gave his brother one of his 3 Super Bowl rings. So I told Sterling in front of everybody, I won my Super Bowl. I didn't have to get one from my brother.
That's mean. But
hey, man, what you?
God.
Yeah, it was one of them moments though, because he had been riding me for the longest.
Were you guys friends after that?
We still were friends, yeah. But I had to sear Sterling, you know. But he cool, that's my man. But I just wanted him to know I actually participated in mine.
I know he know. I mean, he saw it. I'm sure.
We was all in the desk.
Yeah,
We was right at the desk. He was at the desk doing the post game.
Damn.
And I was riding high.
Harsh.
Yeah, that was.
You didn't have to wait. Hey, look, I remember seeing Key. Look, I remember seeing Key back in the day. He used to have to wait in line at the gate until he won. So he won the championship. I seen him in line. They didn't let him in the club. Hey, he won. Then they was like, all right, we got a table. We got a table for him
and
now.
that may be true. Because when you sorry, nobody have anything for you, you know?
Well, but that's not really you weren't sorry before that.
No.
And Lamar is obviously not sorry. He's a 2-time league MVP. But there's a validation. 100%. There is a graduating from college. There is you can say all these other things about me, but you can't say I'm not a champion.
And I'm a real participant though.
There's a look at when you win a championship, there's a difference from going to the bar saying, hey, can I get a drink?
They gonna give you one.
Or you got your own section.
Too.
And they bring it to you.
That too.
I mean, I do think that this is a really, really big start to the season. This is a big moment for Lamar Jackson coming off of those MVPs.
Joy, every single year, he's taking another step in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's continuing to go one more round. This year, it may be the final round. He may finally get there. He also had something to say about, speaking of relationships and friendships, he had something to say about the quarterback he's matching up with tonight, Patrick Mahomes. He said, I don't have a relationship with Mahomes. I don't have a relationship with any quarterback in the league. I don't take anything from him. I just play my game, but he's a great quarterback. I'm going to say that. So he gave him his flowers, but he said he's not friends with anybody. Do you love or hate the old school approach to competition that Lamar has, Paul?
I love it because I come from the old school and I didn't really have any friends in the league. I was just friends with my teammates. Obviously, we live in a different. Now. That's true. I like hanging by myself. But anyway, I'm an old school mentality, and that keeps its edge, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you hanging around somebody, they start to know your personality, know how you are, they know how they can get in your head or something like that. And it's a different era now. You know, we're in an era where a lot of superstars are actually friends. They go to dinners night before games, and I'm fine with that. Would I do it any different? No. But I love the old school mentality. He's trying to keep his edge, and, you know, that's what makes him great. I mean, we're talking about a 2-time MVP, Pro Bowls every year, and if that's what makes you great, then continue to do that. Everybody's not going to be like LeBron. You know, LeBron, he makes friendships, but he's still great. We're in that era. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you see friends with Curry, Durant, they work out in the summer. It's a different time. But in order to keep your edge like him, that's what keeps him going.
I mean, I think like Lamar is just a very authentic, true to himself kind of person, which is a bit of an outlier these days. Obviously, a lot of things have changed, and it's taken an adjustment for all of us to move from the old school to the new school, people being friends and all that. And I also don't have any problem with it. People still seem to be winning championships and figuring it out. So I don't think it matters. It's just a different way of doing things. But it's almost like Lamar is the outlier. Like in the old school, the people who made friends would have been the outlier, and now it's flipped. So it's like, why aren't you friends with everybody? I think Lamar is a very, very authentic person. He's very unapologetically himself. And I like that he said this because this is who he is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Keep your circle small if that's how he likes to move, which is clearly what he likes to do. His mother represents him. He's a very private person. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I think it's just authentically who he is.
No, I'm totally okay with it. Okay? I mean, I coming into the league, I wasn't friends with, especially at the same position. I mean, Eric.
He's not a friendly guy.
Oh, stop, Paul.
He's just not friendly. Look, you see that?
Eric.
He actually is very friendly. He just likes to, he shows up with, see, look at him. Look at him.
Also funny.
He is very friendly. He is very friendly. His resting face looks like he's not friendly.
Right. All right, go ahead.
So I was really good friends with like Eric Moulds, Marvin Harrison. That's my peer group. Michael, I knew early on in my career when I was young pup in college still, because Mike, I was like, we got similar game. I get along with that type of personality. If you wasn't on my team, I really didn't rock with you, because a lot of guys in the NFL, much like in the NBA too, there's an envy to how certain people move. When you have a certain cachet and swag about yourself, you see what I'm saying? And you look a certain way and you carry yourself a certain way. Certain dudes get intimidated and they approach it differently on how they treat you and deal with you. And that's how I felt they dealt with me early on. I'm the number one pick. I'm a receiver. I got the whole thing. I'm my own shoe, and nobody ain't got their shoes but like Deion Sanders and me. And so it becomes one of those deals. So I only dealt with the guys that didn't play on my team, which was those Marvins, Eric Moses, and the playmaker. Other than that, I wasn't. All them other dudes, man, you can miss me with them. I didn't even talk to people really doing pregame. You know how you go out there warming up? I don't have time to be fraternizing with y'all. I'll holler at y'all. I'll see y'all in the tunnel.
Would you say something at the end of the game?
No, I really didn't. Unless you went to college with me and we took a picture, to half each other. Other than that, I'm gone. I ain't got nothing.
What if Jerry Rice was like, hey, key, good game?
That's different though, man. That's way, you're talking about the greatest to ever play the position. I would be a damn fool not to recognize that greatness. Right. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, and Lamar's like not saying hello to Patrick before.
Yeah,
he's just saying like, we're not spending Christmas.
There's no way I'm not. So funny though, CeCe's, Chris Carter, one of my good friends now, we work together and stuff. I remember Chris came up to me, this was in '98, first time we played Minnesota, and I'm running routes early in the warm-ups. CeCe came up to me, and CeCe was trying to tell me how to run a route.
What happened?
That was the worst thing he could have ever done. I gave CeCe an earful. I gave him an earful. But that was my mentality, though. It was just my mentality.
He was trying to look out?
No, he was trying to literally look out.
You got
because I would run a route in what they call airplane wings and playmaker. So when I was running, instead of keeping things tight, I was out here dropping my hips, and he was trying to tell me to keep it tight. And I'm like, man, please. So my coach, Todd Haley, came over and was like, man, that's Chris Carter. I went into a whole thing, and yeah.
Did you listen to him though?
No, I ain't listen to Chris. No,
Well, it worked
we
out for
good
you.
boys, though.
Yeah.
We work together at ESPN, but no, I didn't listen to it. But that was just my personality, though.
Damn,
And
that's
Lamar,
crazy.
I like the fact, Joy, that Lamar isn't buying into that's Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going to give him more flowers than what he deserves from me.
No,
I like
he's
that.
always going to give him flowers. I think he is just being authentic.
He ain't
to
giving him
who
flowers.
He
He
is.
ain't giving him dozens and dozens and dozens
He's
of
giving
roses.
him the appropriate
I wonder
amount.
if
He's not
Pat
giving them the forever
Mahomes-
roses, the ones that you know, like, you know.
No,
what I'm
that's
talking
too
about.
expensive.
You
Them
know what I'm
things, the
talking
ones that.
about. Yes.
You
Yeah.
think
And
if
the boxes.
If Pat Mahomes called him and be like, hey, Lamar, let's go to dinner the night before the game, he not going?
I don't think he would go.
He ain't
But
going.
I don't believe that Patrick Mahomes would reach out to him just to go to dinner. I just
Yeah, I mean,
don't.
there's, like, if they were genuinely friends, he would. But that's what
Yeah.
he's saying. Like, this is just.
I respect you, man. Let's go to dinner.
Well, who we might go to dinner with is Derrick Henry, who is a
Yeah.
new addition to
He
the
definitely
team.
going
We're
to
going to
dinner
get to
with
see
Derrick.
his debut with the Ravens tonight. And everyone is very excited about this move. This is a big piece to add to the Ravens. But what impact will Derrick Henry have on Lamar's game, Key?
A major impact. I think when you talk about X's O's on the football field, just think about third and short. Think about the red zone, 15 and in. Think about 4 downs, because he's a 3-down back. But think about that 4th and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they're trying to get it, they were getting stuffed a lot last year. Well, they got the dude, they could just turn around and bulldoze their way into the end zone. When you say, hey, red zone, most teams got big receivers in the red zone, tight ends and things of that nature. Well, they got a bunch of itty-bitties in Baltimore, which is okay. But now you got Mark Andrews, but you got a guy now that you could just turn around, hand the football to, but it makes it harder on the defense because you also got a quarterback that can put the ball in the belly of the running back and pull it out. So now those defensive ends crashing down, they got to hold and see what's going on. Think about it. I think Mark Ingram was probably the only guy, Lamar's second year, that was really a full-time back for him.
Yeah.
Everybody else was in a rotational role. This isn't going to be the case with Derrick Henry. They sought Derrick Henry a year ago, couldn't get him, brought him in this year in free agency to be the bell cow. Now, people will say, well, they tried to get Lamar to throw the ball all over the lot last year, so how would that affect what they're going to do on the offensive side? They're going to go back to ground and pound and allow Lamar to do what he does when he does it. Opposed to this, we need to make him, a 5,500-yard passer. They're going to get away from that. I can almost guarantee you we'll see that tonight.
Yeah, I think he's a great compliment for Lamar. Derrick Henry is one of my favorite players in the league. It's just his highlights are a thrill every single time. He always finds a way to embarrass somebody. But his style of play is very downhill, very power running, very old school to me. And I love that Lamar is going to have access to that kind of weapon and complement what Lamar does in that way. And Derrick Henry played
They
17
scared of
games
him.
last
You know
year.
that, right?
Derrick Henry?
Man, them dudes be scared of that dude.
They should be.
They run away from him instead of running at him.
They should be.
They turn around and go the other way when he comes at them.
Well,
Imagine
once he gets to full speed, it's. I mean,
ain't
you might
nothing you
as
can
well
do.
stay out of the way. You're just going to end up on a highlight reel getting embarrassed. He
Josh
played 17 games last season, had 1,100 rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns. If he can just duplicate that and complement what Lamar's did last year, they're going to be a very dynamic running offense, which is what they're expecting to see tonight. But what kind of impact do you think Derrick
I
Henry will
just
have?
think he takes pressure. Like, they haven't had much of a run game or a running back, for most of his career.
They've done
Like
mostly by
Ingram-
committee.
Yeah,
it
by
was a committee.
Yeah, so now you add Derrick Henry and you say, well, Lamar, he's our running game pretty much. But when I look at this situation, it's like, all right, we don't have to have Lamar running as much and saving his body, taking the pressure off of him to where he got a guy on first down he could just hand to, like he says, where he doesn't have to scramble if he in any situation, or second down in the red zone. So it's like, does he add to him or does he take from him? And I'm not quite sure yet, because this guy coming off MVP year. I mean, how much better do you need Lamar to be?
Well, I think at this point, Lamar is clearly less interested in personal accolades and team, and much more interested in
get that
team
chip.
success. So if it takes away from Lamar's statistics but adds to the win column, I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. And they'll have to go up against the Chiefs tonight. So switching over to the Kansas City side, the Chiefs are coming off of a championship. They're about to begin their quest for a three-peat, and they have the Ravens tonight. What kind of statement can they make with a win?
It's more of a, we still here. We ain't going nowhere. Ha, ha, ha. Like, that's kind of the statement. Because they don't really, they're 1-3 lifetime against Lamar, right? Lamar, maybe I'll rephrase it the other way. He's 1-3 against them. They already kind of got his number, so to speak. That message is going to be sent to the rest of the league, though. Like, we here to stay. See, y'all thought we was getting ready to fold our tent. No, we good. That's kind of what I'm looking at for them, is to be able to say, we're not going anywhere. Look at Patrick Mahomes, look at Kelsey, look at Worthington, the toys that we have. Yeah. And Rice is in the mix because I haven't seen anything. So Rice is there, Juju's there, the defense is there with Chris Jones and company. So now we go out there and we take care of the same team that we just bounced in the AFC Championship that helped us get to the Super Bowl. For us to win that, we just took care of them again on a Thursday night. Who's next? That's the way, you know, they may not say that publicly, but people watching the game tonight that play in the NFL are gonna be like, damn, man, they still hanging around, man.
Yes, because the Ravens are a real opponent.
Yes, it's a real opponent. They're not
Remember
playing.
they lost week 1 last year to the Lions.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it doesn't mean anything. But I do think that for everyone else, this matters more to everyone else than it does to the Chiefs.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like, if the Chiefs don't win tonight, it's not going to change the vibes in the building because they already know they can overcome
more.
anything.
Yeah, we got 16.
They lost week 1 last year, ended up winning the championship. It didn't end up meaning anything. But I think for everyone else,
and think about it, Joy. Everybody was saying, "Ooh, the Kansas City Chiefs got to go on the road for the first time in the playoffs."
And what?
And everybody was like, "Oh, well, they going on the road. Buffalo gonna get them." Oh, that didn't work. Oh, Baltimore gonna get them. Well, that didn't work so well.
I'm looking at this, and this, and I didn't tell you this. This reminded me, look, we won a championship with Boston 2008. In 2010, Cavs, we beat the Cavs in 2008. In 2010, Cavs was the #1 seed. So we had to play them. They had home court advantage. So this game, Chiefs versus Ravens, this is a who's your daddy. This is a who's your daddy. Like, it meant more for them to try to put us out because we put them out a couple years before. But now, this is like, man, let's let them know that we still own them.
Y'all played them after y'all lost to the Lakers.
I'm not sure what he's talking about right
now.
No,
I'm saying
I don't see that on here. I don't see that on here, Keith.
Well, because you skipped a year.
I don't see that on here.
No, because you skipped a year. That's the only reason why.
Talking about,
no, you trying to be slick.
Closing the gap.
You skipped a year, so I'm trying to help you. In 08, you won. 09, you lost. In 010, y'all got back.
And then in 2024, what happened?
Yeah, but we get.
All right, let me get to my story. So we bounced them. So like I was saying, for the Chiefs, this is a who's your daddy moment. Just let them know we still the big bros, and y'all still the little bros. So get over there, because we're going to put something on your mind. If we see y'all again in the playoffs, it's going to be the same damn thing, period.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.